Hello everybody and welcome back to the second shelf and to another Books Weekly, my Sunday video in which I discuss books that I've either finished from a previous week or read last week or started this weekend. And the first book is the book that I didn't finish from last week. I'm still reading it, and that is Negotiating with the Dead by Margaret Atwood, a writer on writing. It's her essays, reflections on writing. She did a series of courses on writing, and these lectures that she gave finally were made into a book. I've read the first, How to Become a Writer, or How She Became a Writer, and I really like it so far. So it's not that I don't like it, but I'm just taking it slow. So I will report back once I actually finished the book. And then on to a book that I've actually read last week, and that is a historical fiction novel that just came out on the 5th of December, Enchantress of Numbers by Jennifer Chiaverini. Now, if you're watching my video, if you're following my channel for any length of time, you might recognize this book because I just talked about it last Wednesday on my December TBR video, the video that I make at the beginning of each month of new releases. I will leave a link to that video down below if you're interested. Now, Jennifer Chiaverini is a writer of historical fiction. She wrote about Lincoln's wife, best-selling author, and this book is about Ada Byron, the daughter of the poet Lord Byron, Ada Lovelace, as she became known later. And Ada was quite a remarkable woman. She was born in 1815, died very young, only 36, of cancer. And she was one of the first scientists to develop an algorithm for computers, for a computing machine. So Ada was a scientist, a mathematician, but the book is much more focusing on her childhood. So don't expect a book just about the grown-up scientist, which makes sense if you think about how young she died. And it's very interesting. It was very interesting to me how Ada developed as a child, because even though her mother, who split from her father when Ada was only 6 weeks old, and Ada never saw her father again after that, her mother was very wealthy, and she didn't think that a girl shouldn't be educated. So Ada was educated, she could read, she could develop her interest in science, but still you get a good sense of how the times then, beginning of the 19th century, mid-19th century, how much women still were confined and how extraordinary it was for a woman to be educated, and especially in science. So I really loved her story. You learn a lot about the times, you learn a lot about the society then in between 1815 and 1850, let's say. And I thought the writing was really very personal, very engaging. The story is told from Ada's point of view. So if you are interested in historical fiction and in the remarkable woman Ada, then this book might certainly be something you like. And if you think, well, mathematics, I don't have the first clue about mathematics, it's not a book only for people who love or understand mathematics. The portion that deal with Ada's work when she was a grown-up, she published one very famous essay, is only a small portion of the book, and it's explained very well. So I would recommend this even if you're not interested in math at all, but if you're interested to read about the life of a really extraordinary woman. So give it a try. The next book I read is a book that I wanted to read for a very long time. I had it in my bookshelf for a long time, but somehow I never, you know how it is, I never got around to it. And that is Waking Lions by Ayelet Gundar-Goshen. Ayelet Gundar-Goshen is an Israeli author. She was born in 1892, so she is, from my point of view, quite young. Her debut novel came out, I think, in 2010 or something, and this is her second book. It was published in Israel in 2015, and this is the English translation by Sondra Silverston that came out in 2016. Now, Waking Lions is the tale, it's set in present-day Israel, and the main character is a surgeon, Dr. Green. Eitan, I think his first name is. I'm probably butchering it, so I stick with Dr. Green. He's a surgeon and a good man, as we learn right from the start, because he saves lives. But one night, when he drives with his car through the desert, he hits a man and he kills him and he runs. So he doesn't report the accident to the police. He just leaves the man dead on the desert road. That is the premise of the story. We learn that right in the beginning, and then the wife of the man whom Dr. Green killed, Shia Kid, comes to Dr. Green's house and she demands certain things. I'm not going to reveal what, because that is the main plot. It turns out that the dead man is an illegal immigrant. There are a lot of immigrants from Eritrea in Israel. They live under quite horrible circumstances. So you learn something not only about the personal guilt of somebody, Dr. Green, but also you learn a lot about the situation of immigrants. And of course, it's set in Israel, but still immigration is a big issue in Europe as well. So I think it's a very timely novel. It's very gripping. It's well written, well translated, I think. I haven't read the Hebrew original, of course, but it doesn't read like a translated book. And the story and Green's struggle with what he did and that he doesn't want to come clean, I think is a very, very well told, gripping story. So I can certainly highly recommend this book, Waking Lions by Ayelet Gundar-Goshen. And the last book I want to talk to you about is the book that I've just started this weekend, on Friday actually, and that is a debut novel, Jennifer Miller, The Year of the Gadfly, which came out in 2012. Jennifer Miller is a young American author. She wrote nonfiction, but also published fiction in magazines. So this is a debut novel, but it's not the first fiction or nonfiction she wrote. And I came across this book through BookTube, of course, and that is Olive's channel over at Book Olive. I will leave the review she made down below. And even though Olive and I don't have exactly the same reading taste, what she told about the book sparked my interest. It's about Iris Dupont, a 16-year-old girl moving because she has some mental issues. At least her parents think she has mental issues, so her parents move together with her to a more quiet town, and she enters a new school, and there's the mystery of 10 years ago of another student who all of a sudden went missing, and there's also the mystery of a very strange student newspaper, and Iris Dupont, an investigative mind, she wants to become a journalist, wants to find out the truth. That's what I know. As I said, more information in Olive's video. So this is the book that I started and hope to finish. I think you will have to wait 2 weeks because I don't think I will finish this book this week. So this was it for this week's Books Weekly. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm looking forward to talking to you down in the comments. Let me know if you read any of the books that I've mentioned, or if you're interested in reading any of the books. And I'll see you all soon in my next video. Bye-bye.